Hello, everyone on my channel. We are back. I know we were supposed to have two guys today, but we're going to do a part one this week and a part two next week. Today, our conversation is about a man's aspect on relationships. And with me, I have Aaron Goree. He's going to be answering some questions and just being a man's voice for you all fellas this week. Okay? You ready? Okay, so how do you view dating from when you were growing up as a teen to till now?
Well, okay. When I was a kid, growing up, it wasn't about a connection. It was about physical attraction. I didn't care about how she treated me or nothing. I just wanted someone who was just pretty. You feel me? So I'll go for the pretty girl. The one who let me smash or something like that. So that's how I was growing up. And then now, when you get older, you look for someone who you connect with. You look for someone who can be your best friend. It's bigger than just the outer look. Yes, it's the appearance is important, but what's more important now is that there's someone who I can go through hard times with and be happy knowing that she's by my side. That's what it is now.
You feel like all guys kind of feel the same way as a younger man versus when they grow older into an actual man?
Yeah, most of the times dudes have to go through some stuff, because we're the black community, we are, most of us come from broken family homes, so the playing field is pretty, not really the same, so like, you have now, you have females now who was raised without a daddy, so they know how to be a mother, but they also know how to be a father as well. They try to, so when you in a relationship, they seem across the two as well as being a mother and a father. When the dude's like, nah, I'm a man, I let me be, you feel me, the father. But the woman who's always taught, who saw her mother provided and comfort at the same time, seemed to take on that same role, you know. So and just like with the same with guys who's been raised with mostly females. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So, most times, dudes you just have to realize that you have to pick a partner who can balance you out. And realize what it is you want.
Do you feel like it's hard realizing and finding out exactly what you want when it comes to having a relationship and what type of female would be good for you and everything of that nature?
Yeah, most of the time it's we don't know what we want. We think we do, but we really don't. You know, back to the foundation. If you was raised without the opposite, the mother or the father, you think you want that to fulfill you, you know, but you don't know until you actually get into a relationship what you actually need. Some stuff, you just have to get into and figure. That's why you date. You date to find out the person on the inside. You don't date just just to be dating. You gotta date to find out stuff about them if y'all compatible or not. If y'all not compatible, then y'all fall apart.
Okay, that's really understandable. Yes, that's really understandable. Is it hard to grow the patience? Like if you find that female you feel like is really for you, but at the same time she's like the type of female like what you said earlier when she was grew up without a father and wound up having to play both roles. Do you find that difficult?
It it is difficult, because you know what he's dealing with, but that's what comes with dating. You when you date someone, you date someone who's actually compatible to you. So where they come from, it's important, but if you know who they are, if you can get a feel for the person inside, and you know if they really care about you, if they mean well, that's what you look for. You look for someone who has the same thing as you, you know. So even if they come from different background from you, you know, if that person, if you feel a connection with that person, that's what you want, you know, and that would let you know if you want to. For I feel if you want to go through the tough times with that person or not, you know, you'll know if it's really worth it or not, you know, because people change, people, you know, they grow into even into a love with one another. They grow into, you know, as one. They go into one, you know. So if that person had that foundation for you, I feel like, you know, that you can build on. You're gonna go through some stuff, but if you feel like that person has a heart for you, you know, it'll all get better. That's what I got.
That's really understandable. Um, what are something you feel like men really need their women to understand when they get into a committed relationship? What is something that you feel like most women don't understand, but men really need us to grasp?
Okay. Well, as a young man, most men are not finished growing. You know, they're not a finished product. You know, so usually when you get a man or whatever, you're not getting who they're gonna become. You getting them to who they trying to go into. You know, and like most men wants, you know, they want someone who treats them as the girls treat their son. You know, they want that same kind of protection and that same kind of loyalty and faithfulness and commitment with their woman. You know, so that's what you know.
So you feel like we need to be able to show the same kind of care and nourishment as we do our baby boys, just for the simple fact that no man is completely finished growing.
If it's worth it, there's some stuff you can't tolerate. You know, you have to know what that is. You know, and some stuff that you can. You know, but this how you making a boy into a man. You have to go to man to a husband. You know, they have to know how to know. You know, because most men don't have a father in their household, a verbal father in their household or anything. You know, they just go by what the streets taught them. You know, so you have to, and most women, and most boys have a woman who does both roles. You know, so it's confusing to a man, just like it would be for a woman as well. You know, so this you gotta know if it's worth the patience, both having the patience for the person you choose to be with.
Okay, that's really. I hope everybody can completely grasp what he's saying here, because these are some important facts and everything. I know all men are not the same, so everything may not be the same for the next man as it is for this man, but we just really want the man's perspective out there. And with that, I have another question. A lot of women throw themselves for men like probably too soon.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel that how important is sex for men, and how does it affect the relationship?
Okay, that's an important question. Knowing what I know now, I wish I had never had sex before I was married. You know, if men respect women who actually hold out, whether they believe it or not. If they don't, you don't need them in your life. You know, but you see, sex actually, I think for me, it ruins everything because you're looking for the thrill, you're looking for the feel of sex. You know, you're looking for that instead of looking for companionship. You know, so you know, for me, I wish I would have rated because I would have not been in situations that I was in growing up. You know, and it takes a man a while to grow to realize that sex is not what's important. You know, and also sex can actually ruin a relationship because you can be staying for sex, you know what I'm saying, and you really should be gone. But if you have never had sex with that person, you have never felt that feel, that thrill, you know what I'm saying, you could just walk away. But then you so caught up in, you feel me, doing the do that you choose to stay because you want to keep that feeling, you know. So sex is very important to build a relationship. You know, you should build a relationship before sex.
Okay, that's really some good insight there. What are some things you feel men struggle with when it comes to finding a female, getting into their relationship, keeping that relationship strong and going? Like, what are some struggles for men in that area?
Men struggle with a lot. Usually, men have their own understanding of how to make a woman happy. You know, we don't really grasp what the woman really needs until we actually grow and figure it out. So we have our own thing that we think women need or want, you know. So, you know, you have to be patient and actually fully understand and learn the girl who you want to be with, you know. And we want females to actually have that patience to help us along the way, you know. But it's actually on the man to have to want to change that, you know. And it's okay to be hard on your dude, you know. If dudes don't like it, you know, that's their own problem. But it's okay to be hard, not you feel me, hard like they just a boy or whatever. But you gotta be hard on them to let us know that it's for real. You serious about what you want and what you need, you know. Because if you let them slide, they're gonna keep thinking it's okay. If it goes unsaid, they're gonna keep thinking that they're doing the right thing, you know. So you have to let it know. You know, don't say it in a bad way. Just say, sweetie, this is, I don't like when you do that. Don't, you feel me? You don't do that. Or whatever. I don't, you feel me? Don't talk to me like that. I don't embarrass me like that. I have my back on this. You know what I'm saying? You got to, give them that feedback, you know.
Okay. That's very understanding. I know a lot of men have pride. Almost all men have pride. Like that seems to be a big thing. What do you feel like? How important is a man's pride when it comes to a relationship specifically?
Well, when you in a relationship, you should toss that pride away. Seriously. You know, that pride in a relationship will cause many issues. You know, pride's not good at all. You know, but see with the black man, you know, we in gold mode. We in competition with other people. You know, we have to fight for everything we got. You know, we feel like everybody's against us. You know, the government's against us, the police against us. You know, black women, I would say niggas ain't. You know, so we have that ego. We have that pride that we try to keep hold of. You know, so pride shouldn't be in the relationship because you can't love someone when you so prideful you just can't be humble. You know, so you have to be able to let that pride go. You know.
Could you give us like an example of a situation where pride should be put to the side when it comes to the relationship?
Hmm. For instance, yeah, I know your woman. If your woman needs you and she's very vulnerable, you can't be like, I'm gonna go with these boys. She'll be alright. You can't. She's hurting. You can't just blush it off. Brush it off. There's a lot of examples we can use. You just can't allow pride to affect your emotions with your girl.
Okay. Speaking of emotions, do you think men have a lot of trouble actually expressing their emotions with their woman? And if so, like why? Why is that?
Yeah, most definitely. Man has really big trouble expressing themselves with their woman because they don't want to feel soft. Man us actually black man has a history of when you show weakness, people take advantage of that weakness. When you show sensitivity to stuff, people poke at it. So actually, black man, we try to stand tall and strong. Because we don't want to show that weakness. So yeah.
Do you feel like men get bashed when they do show their emotions, when they express how they truly feel? Not necessarily from the world by their women these days.
Yeah, women tends to think that a man showing emotion is soft, and they're not being a man. They tend to make fun of it. It seems like to me anyway. Maybe that mm, they're not on the same level as in a relationship or whatever. And I don't feel the same emotionally. So usually when the man is showing some vulnerability, you know, women tend to don't like that. They're most like the people who be about it. You know what I'm saying? Who has their emotions and you know well, pretty much tell you how it is. You know what I'm saying? In a disrespectful way, no matter what. So when a man actually who cuts it back to and shows their emotions and shows their vulnerability, it's taken to be weak. It's only because, like I said, we come from broken homes. Even our fathers who raised us was taught not to cry, not to see them sweat, never let them see you sweat. So that's how we was raised. And most of the time, and that's why it's important when you're in a relationship when you're a kid, you gotta show some affection with your girl. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go around, you know, with your boyfriend, girlfriend, who husband, wife, and fighting on them and cussing them at each other. You gotta show them how relationship's supposed to be. Hug them, kiss them, show them some love. So they can show them that how love's supposed to be. Because most people has been in households where they don't see their mother being loved, or they don't see their father being loved. So they don't know how to love. It's like a domino effect.
That's really understandable. Do you feel like when the children in the home, when they get backlash or when they see or whatever from the parents or um, the men and women in a relationship fighting and going at it, how do you feel like that makes the man look?
You should never fight in front of your kids. One reason is because most of the time, if a man's fighting with a woman, he ain't gonna win. That argument's not gonna be won. So you should never fight in front of your kids because you don't want your kids to think it's okay. Out to lose respect. Because they hear what's going on. So you have to, manage it in a certain way. You may have a problem or issue, but do it away from the kids. I feel like you should because you don't want them to going up thinking that it's okay. You can talk to them and tell them you had disagreement and show them how to walk them through it. But having them see it, they're gonna grab hold to that, and it's gonna affect them in a way that we don't understand.
Okay, I hope everybody is really grabbing hold to everything that he's saying because I really feel like it's in some important facts and everything, and I really feel like some of this stuff women really need to hear and understand and really grab hold to because we're not perfect, and we always want to be heard, but we don't really realize like men need to be heard too. Like he said, they have emotions, they feel things, they're human just like we are. Just because they might not go ball up in the corner and cry like we do, that does not mean that they still don't feel things. And just because they're showing their emotions, if your man is showing you his emotions, 9 times out of 10 he truly cares, he truly loves you, and he's trusting you with that just like we do. So we need to really know how to bring it down a bit, let him get it out, really hear him. If he needs to be held, hold him.
That's true.
Do you feel like men, when it comes to being held through things, like physically held, do you feel like men don't get that as much?
No, because I don't think so. Because sometimes a man can tell a woman something, they might think it's not a big deal, but it is to him. So yeah, that's important. And we don't always. Sometimes we just want to vent. We don't always want a conversation about what's going on. We don't always want you to put your input in. We just want to vent to you and express ourselves. We just want to get it off our chest, whether you agree or disagree. We want you to hear us out. And hold it through that time, even though you may not agree with it or whatever. But sometimes you just want to vent, because the closest thing to a dude is his woman, and that's who we come to for that healing. Just like we do with our parents. Just like when your kids come to you, you give them a nourishment. If they hurt themselves or they have their heart broken, you're gonna show them that love and comfort before you tell them what to do. So that's why that's the same thing with a dude.
Okay, I really hope you guys are getting this, because I feel like a lot of relationships go down and everything, and a lot of people blame the men. A lot of us females, we blame the men without even realizing before, during, or after the relationship that really we just wasn't listening. Sometimes we just really have to listen. Do you feel like men get manipulated by the women in their relationships at times?
Well, I feel like if you're in a relationship, you gonna get manipulated. Your woman's gonna always have a kind of control of it. They know how to get what they want. They gonna put on something nice and sexy for you. They know how to get what they want. That's okay. I feel like, but it's just, you have to. But you have for a woman. We want them to use it responsibly. You know what I'm saying? Don't overdo it. Use it responsibly. And you can tell when he really don't want to do it, and he's only doing it because he want to make you happy. So if you see them, you can tell. You know them, but what you really wanted. So you're gonna keep doing what you're doing to get it. But you gotta realize because all I'm gonna do is build up at hate. What's that? What I'm looking for? I don't know.
Resentment.
Yeah, resentment. It's here they build resentment up. So you have to realize too many times you're doing something that they really don't want to do will mess up your relationship.
Okay. So ladies, don't try to be cute to get everything you want. Just let him have it sometimes. Let him win sometimes. Right. If you want to be lazy, he don't feel like doing them dishes, it's okay. You don't got no company anyways. Just wait till later that night or tomorrow or something. It could be okay. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like a lot of women try to overpower their men in ways that they really should not be?
That's what comes with knowing your partner, knowing who you choose to date. That's what you try to find out when you dating. And women can get like that because the dude is softest, more vulnerable to their woman. So just because you are able to get your way in certain ways don't mean he's soft. It doesn't mean he loves you enough to allow you to do it. So you have to be careful with trying to use your power that you have over him to make him do what you want. So yeah.
I feel you. What are some reasons why you feel like, man, because I feel like this goes both ways, but a lot of times men just kind of give in and everything just to keep the woman. So what do you feel like are some reasons why men do not like their women to have friends of the opposite sex? Best friend, buddy, whatever it is that they call it.
You see, men have a problem with trusting, an issue with it, and I don't think friends is the issue, because we mostly feel like if a friend wanted you, I want you, and try to smash you at some point in time, they're not a real friend. And it's always, we don't want fool with that, and I don't think it's someone that's having friends that does it. It's like when females, they try to hide their friendship. You feel me? Like if you friends with a guy, your spouse should know them. They should know them, like, not like them, but know them enough. Y'all can go out to dinner with them or something like that. They should know them enough, so if something happen, he could come to him and be like, "What's up?" You know what I'm saying? And like it's the stuff that we feel like that our females hide from their spouse with a friend. It's the issue. Like if he can't call you in front of your dude, is a problem. If you can talk to him in front of your dude, that's an issue. You know, it means it's something. It's not a friendship. You know, you should be able to answer the phone when he called in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the kind of issue that men have with their girls having male friends. You know.
Okay, that's really understandable. You know, because a lot of females be like, "Nah, yeah, I'm your only friend" and
Right.
everything. But it seems like that's kind of sexist on our end to be like that when really you guys on your end just want us to be open and honest about it.
Right.
Don't let no shady mess
Right.
going on and everything like that. So that's really understandable. Um, what are some things outside of actually cheating could cause a man to leave a relationship?
A relationship. Mm. I've got a few things. If y'all just not meant to be together, you know. But some men will force stuff to work, even though it's not. You know, most of the time it takes another woman. I hate to say it, you know, who would pull him away from the relationship. If y'all not in love, you know, if y'all in love, it takes a whole lot for him to let it go, you know. But if y'all not in love, all it takes is him just having an eye for somebody else, you know. You know, man. If he really wants to be with you, you will know it. You can feel it, you know.
I get that. So that's like for me, like what I like to say, there's really no such thing as homewreckers,
Right.
because if it's actually meant to be and two people truly love each other,
Work
then
it out.
exactly, and someone else couldn't come and pull the other person apart.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, it will actually the home would have to already
And be
be
wrecked,
wrecked and
exactly.
ruined for someone else to be able to come in and replace the next
That's
person.
what that's why I always say. If you take my girl, then she ain't my girl. She was never my girl, you know.
That's really understandable. What is something that that men really that men need most from their women? What is something that you feel like a lot of women refuse to give or don't give that men truly need?
I feel like most men needs that nurturing. You know, it sounds like it sounds like he's a grown man. He don't need that, but man, we take on so much of the world that people don't actually realize. You know, so when we come home, you know, we may not be in the best of mood. You might catch every bit of hell that was going out on the street into the house. You know, so sometimes you have to have that patience at time to settle down. You know, yeah, you know. So sometimes your man may come home from work and just might be in a bad mood. He might just pop out just like that. You know, just because of him having to host someone's in on out in the street. Because like you said, we can mess up one time and get killed. You know, so that's pretty much what I feel like women need to understand. Now it's not right for a dude to take out everything out onto his woman. You know, they should be able to find another release. That's why you shouldn't get mad at your dude for hanging out with his friends sometimes or going out sometimes without you. He's not. That's where trust comes in because he sometimes just has to blow off some steam. You know, and you can't always be up under him like that while he's going out to do that. You know, because he gonna feel smothered. You know, so sometimes he has to let his head down. I guess you should say. You know.
That's good. That brings me to another question, which is space. A lot of people, well, I know a lot of females, they like to just be, all cleaned up, which, most of the time that's fine and everything. But how do you feel about women letting their men like have that space, whether if it's something going on or if he just feels like he
Mm-hmm.
just wants to leave, or he just feels like he just doesn't feel like being there, or or something of that nature? How
Mm-hmm.
important is it for a woman to allow his, well, not allow because you're grown, but be okay with it and not pitch a fit about that?
Yeah, you should always be okay with your spouse having enough me time, having enough time. Now if they want it too much, you should reevaluate what's going on in the relationship. I mean, maybe some more problems because I might want some space on certain days, but most times I want to be with my woman. Well, what I do, what I go with, I want her to come with me. Now if I want too much space, you might want to look at that. But the man needs some space. They need some unwinding sometimes. They need to relax sometimes. They can't always do it when you come home. You got your girl want to be up on you. The kids want you to play with them. And they got their own stuff that they want to do themselves after being at work all day. So it's kind of like they need that, and it's good for their mental health. Because men, they feel overwhelmed sometimes when they working to pay the bills or whatever. And then they come home and they tired and don't have nothing left for themselves. So sometimes they need that at time for themselves to make balance it out a little bit.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So I hope you ladies can understand, it's not necessarily you that they, sometimes, because we can be kind of aggravating, with our yin yang yin yang and everything that we like to do sometimes just because we miss them and everything like that. But, if he needs to get out, he needs to go take a walk, he needs to go shoot some hoops, or even if he's on that aggravating daggone video game. Let them do it. You really have to have that trust and that security within yourself to know that he's not meaning no harm. He's not trying to do anything wrong. He's just trying to get his mind right. Sometimes they can go crazy. Bosses can drive you insane. Mm-hmm. And then he come home and you the other boss. Sometimes he just needs that breakaway, especially if his boss is a woman. Think about that now. Mm-hmm. You got to go to work, hear that yin yang yin yang, then he come home, hear that yin yang yin yang, and then on top of that you got the daughters, yin yang yin yang, daddy daddy daddy. All that can be real. It could be real smothering and everything. Us women, we always say, well, oh, I need my me time, but we forget men need it too. And that video game, that basketball court, that I don't know, he might run track, that track race thing and everything like that, whatever the case may be, that is his outlet. Let him have it freely so he can breathe, because 9 times out of 10 at the end of the day, it's only gonna make your relationship a lot more healthier. Let him have time to miss you. Just because he goes to work does not mean he got time to miss you, because you're probably calling him there too. 9 times out of 10 you probably calling him, texting him and everything like that. Just give him that space. Understand that he's human just as you are. He's dealing with a lot just like you are, So we are going to wrap up with this. We don't want to take up too much of you all's time. And I really appreciate you coming on here and being a voice for the men